there's only one GOAT in dancehall, and it's Shabba. Let me say that again. There is only one greatest of all times in dancehall, and that would be Shabba. That's it. Shabba Ranks, greatest of all times. Now, some of you may want to call yourself the greatest in my mind, because that is what you guys are, the greatest in your mind. But you're not the greatest of all times. So when you hear other artists referring to themselves as GOATs, it's a disrespect to Shabba. It's a disrespect to the work that Shabba put in. Hands down. Shabba is to dancehall of like what Bob Marley is to reggae.
Yes.
Say it.
Yes.
Shabba is to dancehall what Bob Marley is to reggae.
Facts.
That's it.
Facts.
There's no, you would never, and let me just say this, big on board. You would never question whether Bob Marley's the GOAT of reggae. Don't question if Shabba's the GOAT of dancehall. Why would you not think it's disrespectful to give yourself a title that somebody else earned without putting in the work that that person has put in? So when we in the dancehall space keep throwing around these titles because we feel like we are the best at the moment or in the moment, it's disrespectful. The more you abuse a sacred title is the more the title starts to have no value whatsoever. There will and will always be only one GOAT in dancehall. It's Shabba. It can't change. There is nobody who is going to come in dancehall and do what Shabba did. He did it already. He did it at a time when it could not be done or was not being done. Make it make sense. How are you now going to turn around and use the word, and we start using the word GOAT loosely? I don't understand that. I see that as a big disrespect to the people that put in the work. Now, and I'm not saying that the artist them is directly trying to disrespect Shabba. That's not my argument. I'm saying that dancehall needs to stop allowing artists and individuals to throw around titles. So when you hear somebody say you're the GOAT, the industry is supposed to say, no, you're not the GOAT. Oh, you have to be the GOAT, right? Up to this day, Shabba shakes a room. We're talking about 30 years after. Shabba still walks into a room and shakes a room. Oh, what if I be the GOAT? I don't understand. I don't understand how we got artists who have not impacted the space or the world like how Shabba impacted the world, but then they call themselves the GOAT. But it needs to be said. If you cannot call yourself a GOAT if you did not do anything, first of all, you can't call yourself a GOAT at all. Because there's only one greatest of all times. You can't have two. There's only one greatest of all times. You cannot have two. Right? And even when Shabba has gone and made his transition, you still cannot take away the fact that he's the greatest of all times. And again, some uno are the greatest in your mind. But Shabba Ranks is the greatest of all times. That's two different things. Some of you may feel that you're the greatest in this time, and that's fine. It's good to feel like you're the greatest in this time. I think every artist should feel like they're the greatest in this time.
Or in their time, yep.
Or the greatest in your time, however you want to put it. But the greatest of all time, there will never, ever, ever be a Shabba Ranks. Right? You would never question if Bob Marley is the GOAT of reggae. Don't question that Shabba Ranks is the GOAT of dancehall. There's nobody that would dare to say that they're the greatest reggae artists of all times. They won't. Because they know that would be a disrespect to Bob. Well, saying that you are the greatest dancehall artist of all time is a disrespect to Shabba. Because nobody knows Shabba work, and there's nobody that can do Shabba's work. Because Shabba's work was done in a time, everything was different. Yep. And he opened those doors. And everybody will eat food off of the music, will eat it because of